What's up, Strike Team, and welcome back to another episode of Strike Team Official as we break down the foundation, the building block, the syllabus of multiple styles of martial arts all around the world, and that is the martial art forms, or as karate calls them, martial art katas. Now, I'm going to focus primarily on the karate side because my expertise is in karate. That being said, the karate took our katas and our learning structure from other martial arts, and a lot of what I'm going to say will still translate and will still have benefit to someone who's, say, doing a kung fu style, or especially if you're doing something like taekwondo, okay, which has a very close connection with karate. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you all learned something, and see you after the break. All right, Strike Team, now let's get into it. Let's talk about how the martial art forms, or karate katas, can help you evolve as a martial artist, whether that's through self-defense, or competition, or bodily awareness, right? So you can use a martial art form in a multitude of different ways. Different schools and different styles use them differently. So the way I use it may not be the way you use it at your school, but there are some basic principles that you can find pretty much everywhere, right? So one thing that martial art forms give you are the understanding of the balance, right? The physical strength, the bodily mechanics, and bodily awareness of using these techniques, right? So when you're sitting here and you're learning a martial art form, you're getting a better understanding of your own balance and how your body moves. This is universal in almost every style, and is one of the main reasons people send their kids into martial arts. So one of the huge benefits outside of, learning the respect and honor that you can get from martial art classes is when it comes to little children, they need to learn to understand how their body moves, how their body works, right? To understand what their limitations are and what they're gifted in. And one of the great ways to do that is by learning difficult movements with your body, right? So understanding, like I said before, that balance, that physical awareness, and even gaining physical strength. As we're sitting here doing these deep martial art stances, the horse stance, or, understanding the balance of the cat stance, whatever it is, you're able to understand how that body moves, build strength in it as well, right? So one of the great benefits of kata is just that overall understanding of your body and how it works. Now, as we're talking about, understanding your bodily awareness and body mechanics, understand that kata can also help you with your technique. Just working on, your punches, your kicks, those stances, they're all going to help you develop the strength and proper form and technique to do a lot of the martial art moves that we're going to be looking to perfect throughout our career. So now, on a deeper level, as we get to some of the really advanced stuff, like for example, in the Wei-Shiru system, we have a kata called Sanchin. It's very internal. So the kata looks very simple on the outside, but when you're doing it, you're focused on every single muscle in your body. And on that level, it's an even deeper level of physical and bodily awareness, because instead of just doing like a deep horse stance, you're actually worried about where every single muscle in your entire body is placed. And that can have huge benefits as a competitor. For those who don't know, I compete heavily in Muay Thai. I've also done some, karate competitions as well. But in Muay Thai, we have something called the clinch, which is sort of like stand-up grappling. And my bodily awareness in the clinch was greatly influenced by the Weishi Kata Sanchin, which helped me understand where my body mechanics and balance was going, which I was easily able to translate into my clinch or stand-up grappling. So a lot of these katas have that kind of benefit, just giving you that understanding of your body and how your body moves. And that is extremely universal. It's used everywhere, and you can pretty much find that in any martial arts school out there. Now, another way that people use martial art katas or forms is by using it to find principles and even exact techniques for combat itself. Now, strangely enough, this actually isn't universal. There are many martial arts systems and many martial arts schools that don't actually use their katas for combat. One of the reasons, at least in karate, is because since so many of the original bunkai or applications of these karates were somewhat lost, a lot of people don't really bother to use them for actual combat. They'll use them, like I said before, to worry about, developing understanding of your body and how your body works. But and when it comes to actual fighting, they pretty much have a totally separate syllabus for it, which is totally wild to me. It's like, why are we practicing these forms? They're like, if we're not going to use them. I, on the other hand, am a very avid believer that each of these katas has something usable when it comes to self-defense or combat that we can take for ourselves. Right now, so I don't necessarily say that, how do I explain this? When you're looking at a moving kata, it's not that I'm going to necessarily do the move exactly the way the kata shows it every time, right? When I see a move in kata, I see it as something that's supposed to be giving you a principle, a generic principle of a technique that you then take and adapt and, with your own body type, based on your opponent, based on their size, based on how you're moving, and actually use that principle in combat itself. So one thing that we're going to be going over later in this channel, and I'm hoping that the next couple of my videos are more like this, are actual technique videos, right? As much as I love talking to you guys and yelling at you guys through my phone right now, I do think, the main purpose of this channel is to actually go through actual techniques. So I have a couple videos plans for that, and I already have some videos out for that as well. So you can see how different techniques within katas can be applied in different ways based off the principles that each of these movements are showing you, right? And so that's kind of the way I do it. I believe each kata technique is showing you a principle. And the way that one of the greats in Abernathy kind of breaks it down is that the kata is a syllabus, it's your alphabet. And once you understand the alphabet, you have to put the words together, right? So you understand the principle, and now you got to make words out of it. The last things I want to talk about when it comes to how katas and forms and these martial art movements can be used is as moving meditation, right? So this is something that a lot of people, especially when they're looking to martial arts purely for health, you look at things like Tai Chi, and even my system of Wei Chi, Sanchin is used for this, is they use kata as a form of, outside of just physical health, but a way to kind of clear your mind and reach that like flow state and meditate as you're moving. And so I'm gonna again take this back to my personal experience with Sanchin, where Sanchin is a kata where you're very focused on how each muscle in your body is being used, but once you learn how to do it properly, you're supposed to be able to do it totally zoning out. Just your body's supposed to be able to do it off of instinct, and it's supposed to be a moment that as you're doing the kata, you're totally meditating and elevating yourself. There's even that whole aspect of some martial artists have used katas to help them reach enlightenment, which I don't know, you don't have to take it on a religious level. I know a lot of people don't prescribe to martial arts being religious in any way, shape, or form. That being said, I know some people believe it does have a religious history, and so some people will use forms in that way to help them meditate toward enlightenment or anything like that. Now, I know in my personal experience, I'm not trying to be enlightened by it, but I do know if I'm having, a tough day, zoning in and really focusing on my katas, Sanchin or otherwise, can help me clear my head and find like balance and peace in my normal life. So I have actually used it as a form of meditation. So that is another way that a lot of people will use kata. All right, guys, so those are just some of the uses of the forms and the katas that I want to break down in this video. There are a couple other ways people use martial art forms and techniques and katas and things like that, but those are the main ones that I've seen in my experience. If you know of any other way that people use forms and katas in their martial arts, please let me know down below in the comment section. I'd love to talk about it. I do know I'm actually planning to bring some martial art experts on my podcast, Strike Talks, and I'm going to put clips of that up here on this channel, where we're probably going to delve into katas and forms and how they use them and how they interpret them and get into a bit more detail. I know this wasn't the most detailed of videos, but this is, it's actually my first time kind of verbally breaking this down, and this is, it's a very broad subject. I could probably break down each one of these points as its own video, but I just wanted to give a general breakdown and understanding for everybody on the channel. So again, guys, please like, subscribe, turn on that notification button. I do know my next few videos are going to be actual technique videos, where I'm actually going to go over different techniques in katas and forms and break down how to use them in different situations. So definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be pretty awesome, I hope. I have some pretty good ideas in my head of what I'm going to do next, so I hope you guys enjoy. But yeah, guys, I'll see you next time. Remember, again, like, subscribe, please, new channel, share it, and Appreciate you guys. See you next time. Peace.